everybody! Welcome to the Magical Mystery School, where we look at the big astrological energies and where they're going this week, and hopefully help you apply it to your own chart and your own life. Okay, so thank you for all my newest subscribers. I appreciate it so much, and all of my longtime subscribers, I adore you. Okay, comments. There are some very interesting comments about Atlas, and one person called themselves a May Gemini that I just love. I love that. And the Atlas information I'm not sure about, but heck, who knows what this thing is, right? I'm open. And just to let you know, with comments, I think I'm finally figuring them out. They go to two different places, so and there's filters and things like that I think I'm finally getting organized, sorted in my brain. But there's still one thing. If, like, say you ask me a question and I reply to that question, and then if you reply to that reply, it stays, I think it stays buried down in my comments list feed. So sometimes I miss those. So it's better if you've got a reply, just do a new comment, because then it'll come straight to the top for sure, until I get that figured out anyway. So anyway, how's everyone doing? On Monday the 20th, we had Mercury conjunct Mars, right there at the end of Scorpio. So did you get in any fights? Hopefully, if anything, they were just mental fights. I looked at the No Kings weekend, and Moon sextiled Mercury the night before, getting the information out, and Moon sextiled Mars, and then Jupiter. You know, Mars is take action, Jupiter make it bigger, sextile. That's called the opportunity aspect. So that all worked out. Don't you just love astrology? Then, oh, and I had talked about that Venus creating a kite here as it went into Libra. And I was hoping that would mean peace in the Middle East. But at least the hostages are out. And I think there is some food and aid getting in. But whether the ceasefire has worked, I'm not 100% sure on that. There have been explosions going off in Gaza, but I think they might be old bombs, from that haven't exploded yet. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay. So today, October 24th, is when the sun in Scorpio, just getting in, remember, I think, what did he go in, the 20th? Or 22nd, just getting into Scorpio, the sun is going to be squaring Pluto, okay? So that's that, those fixed signs. So remember, the fixed signs are cardinal fixed, mutable, cardinal fixed, mutable, cardinal fixed, mutable, cardinal fixed, mutable. So we get that square. But if you've got anything super early Taurus or super early Leo, you're going to be feeling this a lot more personally, that's for sure. Now, everybody feels these transits. It's just that, is it affecting you in the most personal way? And like I've said before, with astrology, you just got to do some memorization, especially in the beginning. So, and for any of you insomniacs, this works great. Because this is what I did when I first started studying astrology. Just go Aries, first house, Taurus, second house, Gemini, third house. And then when you get that memorized, then add Cancer, water, fourth house, Leo, fire, fifth house, Virgo, earth, sixth house. And start adding the modalities and the elements and that as you memorize things. Because you want to get that embedded in your brain at the beginning. Okay, so this square is happening this morning, and I do everything at Pacific Daylight Time for now, at 7:26 a.m. So this is where, Sun square Pluto. Pluto is our power planet, so we can see some power plays going on, people trying to dominate other people, especially the opposite sex with Pluto in there. But just remember, if you're a very assertive person already, watch out, keep a lid on it. You might find yourself getting a little too domineering. And then if you're a real passive, quiet type person, you know, maybe there's somebody in your office that's just been bugging the crap out of you for maybe literally years. And this may be your opportunity to just go say, oh, go fuck yourself, or something like that. And everybody in the office is like, oh my God, this quiet, mousy person over in the corner there finally told that jack off to jack off. Anyway, we'll see. Anyway, I'm just messing with you there a little bit. But you may surprise yourselves. But you will do it in a jovial, fun way, because we have this beautiful aspect forming just at 8:08 right after this. So we're going to have Mercury that's in Scorpio is going to be trine Jupiter down here, which is in Cancer. So this is cardinal water, and this is fixed water. Okay, so again, same thing. Fire, earth, air, water. Fire, earth, air, water. Fire, earth, air, water. Just try to get that stuff memorized. It'll just make your astrological life easier. So this is happening right around 24 degrees. So this is a great, you know, we're communicating about our emotions. You know, the only difficulty with a trine like this is that you can promise too much, or maybe say too much, or something like that. So just be aware of that you don't want to get home tonight and go, oh geez, what did I just get myself involved in, you know? Okay. But don't worry, because literally on October 25th, the next day, so it is in operation, we have Mercury trine Saturn, which is in mutable water Pisces. So again, there's that water. So whenever you get those same elements, you know you've got a easy flow of energy. And this will complete and make a nice grand trine in water. Woohoo! So that we can really express our, sorry about that. We can really talk about our emotions, and we can do it in a very structured, calm way, mature. Saturn is our sign of maturity, taking responsibility. Mercury up here in Scorpio, those deep, deep conversations. So during this time, this is really pleasant, but you know, you might just want to stay at home, Cancer, and talk with your family, your children, your fur babies, or maybe go home and get on the phone and communicate with your family, or a great time for doing connecting spiritually with your doing meditation too. Because Scorpio is a very mystical sign for sure. Okay. Let's see. Then, of course, Mercury will be trine Neptune, not till the 29th, but pretty close. So degree-wise, it's still definitely operational. So Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, so we kind of got a double dose there of this spirituality. So, but on the 29th, this is a time to really get in touch with your dreams. Again, with Mercury and Jupiter involved, same kind of energy here. And I really love having Saturn with Neptune because it gives it that structure. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, the planet Neptune is just a big ball of hot gas out there, right? And so Saturn can give us some structure to that gas, give it a container. Then on the 29th, though, something very unexpected happens. Pop quiz. When I say unexpected, what am I talking about? Uranus, whose kind of key phrase is expect the unexpected. Okay. So first off, what has to happen right before this comes into play, Mercury goes into Sagittarius. Just a few hours before, it opposes Uranus. So on the 29th, we've got, you know, really, a real change coming on. First off, with Mercury going from Scorpio to Sag, in Scorpio, I always talk about how Scorpios are big secret keeper. Can keep, thank God, we've got that. Sagittarius, not so much. Sagittarius is one of those ones that can blurt out the truth, though, but very unexpectedly. It's mutable fire. Very, oh, I wish I don't have my tarot card. Oh, yes, I do. So here's the tarot card for Sagittarius. And see how the water's going back and forth between these cups. Think of that with Sagittarius as like always kind of trying to make up their mind and weighing what's better, what's not, that kind of thing. So anyway, so our thinking is going to totally change. And then we'll also have this boost from Uranus here too. And that's going to create, I'm sure there's some of you there that are far ahead of me, because when Mercury opposes Uranus, and I'll just do that. Okay, it's going to make another kite. Now you all may be saying, oh my God, well these kites are everywhere and all the time. This is very unusual, you guys. We've got some really different kind of energy going on. And let me get that. And there. Oh, there's the other guy. We'll do that. There. Okay. So you can see that kite. So if you feel like you're just kind of in a vortex of emotions, maybe you've sat in your tub a little too long or something like that, this is the way to actually use this energy. Okay, now it's this opposition, it's going to carry a lot of erratic, it's going to come in, come out, come in, come out, that kind of energy. But this is going to be really strong because Uranus is actually the higher octave of Mercury. And what that basically means is that, Mercury is our planet of communication, technology, that sort of thing. And so is Uranus, but this is more personal and this is more for the collective. Okay. Oh, and I should have, let's see. Did I miss this? Did I miss saying this? Yes, also on the 29th, Mercury is going to be trying Neptune, if I forgot to say that. So these guys, Saturn and Neptune, are so close together, it's hard to separate them sometimes. But anyway, and also Mercury rules Gemini. So that makes this opposition even super strong. So if you're feeling like, that you're going to blurt out something, just remember, are you blurting out something that's for the good of all? Or is it something where you're trying to get somebody or something like that? So that's the only thing, watch out for that one. And also on the 29th is that day when Atlas is at his perihelion, which basically means closest point to Earth. And some people are saying that the sun is going to kind of act like a cell phone tower and kind of transmit energy down to Earth, and especially to our heart chakras. So just be aware of that. And really, when you do meditate or think about it, just when you think about that heart space, there's also a space that's called the higher heart that's just above, and then your fifth chakra, which is your throat. That would be a really good one too to kind of start to focus on too. And what'll happen if you can get nice and quiet and you just think about your heart, you'll actually start to feel it kind of like buzzing and kind of like this little vibration going on. So that's kind of cool. All right. Let's see. What can I say? So just be prepared for a lot of information to be coming out around this October 29th. And with this grand water trine, it'll probably be pretty cool for sure. And remember, if you feel like it's too much, just go home, take a bath, pet your kitties, pet your doggies, all that good stuff. Okay, now we're not done with Mercury yet. Just be aware that Mercury on October 30th is going to, now it's already in Sagittarius, right? Mutable fire. it's going to be sextiling Pluto. So again, here we go, deep discoveries. Now, Pluto in Aquarius, this could be AI, technology, science. It could be information coming out about Atlas, that kind of thing. And then with Mercury in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is our higher intellect also. So this is like college degrees and above. In Gemini, the opposite of that is like K through 12 and education-wise. I'm an old college professor, a retired college professor, so and this was my dream when I retired, so thank you for helping me out with this. So we might really hear about some really kind of cool scientific discoveries. I sure hope so. And as always, maybe the Epstein tapes come out, or maybe the government opens. That would be cool. Now this is all cool, but as we know in astrology, there's always another layer. There's always another transit coming in here. So remember, back on October 20th, Mercury and Mars conjuncted, came into conjunction. A better way to say it, I guess. So we've got Mars, and it's slower moving than Mercury, but it's right on its tail here. So it's going to be, now moving in, it's going to go through and do these same aspects. And I'll just run over them right quick and then explain a little bit more. Mars will trine Jupiter on October 28th. It's going to trine Saturn on October 29th. And then on November 3rd, it will trine Neptune. And then on November 4th, it will do this opposition just like Mercury got through. Now, we will talk about those aspects in November more next week. But I did want to just make you aware that it was going on, and you know, we're not done with this aspect yet, or this configuration, I should call it. Now, in more detail, Mars trine Jupiter, again, this is going to be fixed water. Mars is still in Scorpio to cardinal water, so, but Mars and Scorpio, that gives us passion, focus, determination. All right. Whereas cardinal water, you know, it's the ancient ruler of Pisces here. But also remember, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. And Jupiter's the ruler of Sag. Oh my goodness. That's a lot to take in right there. But just remember, this can make this passion and this focus even bigger. We really have a desire to act, desire water. And if you can keep your actions in ways that are helping others, especially your own family and children, not just talk about it, but actually go out and do it, all right? That's a really good way to use this energy. Now, Jupiter is also, since it's the ruler of Sag, also rules like religions. Like Pisces is a little bit more just spirituality, but this is organized, can be organized religion. So maybe something will come out with that too, which might be kind of interesting. And just remember, with Scorpio energy, you have the ability to remake, to recreate things, okay? I mean, my favorite symbol for Scorpio energy, you know, Pluto's the modern ruler of Scorpio. Oh, I should have also said Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio. That, you know, 8th house Scorpio, Pluto, I love the image of the phoenix, because you've got to crash and burn before you're sitting there in the ashes going, what the heck just happened to my life? You know, I mean, oh, that's the Mars card. I wanted to mention that. So when you're sitting there in your pile of ashes, looking around going, what just happened to me? I just got fired, or I just caught my boyfriend with another girl or gal or whatever, that just remember, in a year or two, even though your heart may have been broken, you're like, you don't want a guy like that anyway. And you found someone much better, or you've gotten a better job or whatever it is. So just remember, those of you with any Scorpio at all, sometimes you got to crash and burn. But when you're sitting there in the ashes, just look around. Your feathers are growing out and they're all new and feeling good. Okay. Now with Mars trine Saturn, Saturn rules Capricorn. Now that's our old stodgy, right? Stuff, the kind of the you know, the businessman and all that kind of stuff, kind of the what we think of as the archetype for Capricorn, you know, capitalism and all that kind of stuff. But Mars is actually exalted in Capricorn. Now, rulership means it's the planet is most at home with those with the energies that it rules, but exalted means it has more power with the energies that it rules. So kind of that distinction is kind of a cool one to kind of start to get your head wrapped around. So we already, because Mercury has gone through here, we already have a good understanding of things, and we're communicating about things. But now with Mars here, we've got the energy to go out and do it. We've got the structure from Saturn to give us a path of how to move through this. It's a trine, so that gives us the patience to deal with this. And anytime we've got Saturn type energy working, we've got skills, we can handle responsibilities, we can handle hardships. In fact, if something's stressful, if you've got some Saturn, you've got something to lean on, which is the beauty of Saturn. Okay, well, now I'm gonna next week we're going to talk about Mars is going to trine Neptune on November 3rd, and it's going to do the same thing. It's going to oppose Uranus on November 4th. Is that election day? I can't remember. And then just like Mercury, it's going to sextile Pluto. Now we've got some other things coming up next week that are super game changing, but I just wanted to illuminate this sextile a little bit more, because like I said, Mercury's going through that this week. But just remember that up there in the sky, if I can get these things, there we go. We have got forming, because of all these beautiful sextiles, and I just wanted to reinforce this one more time again, because just remember this Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus isn't going anywhere for a few years. That's why we're having all these kites. I wanted to let you know about that too. It's not like we have these kites all the time. It's because we've got this sextile between Pluto and Neptune and Uranus that's activating all these. And then what's cool is we've got Jupiter down here that's out of sign yet. It goes into Leo next summer, but it's 24. It's getting close to this, to opposing Pluto and hooking into all these sextiles. And then with Mercury and Mars up here going into Sag, this too is activating this beautiful Star of David up in the sky. So just remember, those sextiles work on complementary elements. So the complementary elements are air and fire, earth and water. So here we've got Sag fire, Aquarius air, sextile, Aquarius, air, fire. So these guys, even though they're up in Pisces, I mean, Neptune is at like 2950, so it's still activating this point, even though it isn't in Aries. Uranus is down here, Gemini, mutable air. And then, like I said, with Jupiter getting close to Leo, fixed fire. So keep an eye out. Like we just had this new moon in Libra. When the moon goes through, because remember, that's what's so cool about the moon, is it goes around the chart once a month. So if you've got a question about a transit or an aspect in your own chart, look at the moon and see when it activates that aspect or transit, because you can get some insight on what the bigger picture is. Okay, so, I just did my Mr. Mackey. Okay. moving on. So just to let you know, this is coming into form here in a big, beautiful way. That's why I can't help but imagine that everything that we're going through it's going to be okay. How can we not be okay with this kind of beautiful thing going on up in the sky? Okay, now what else are we going to talk about next week? Well, it's big, big game changer time. Now, we had on the 29th of October, we had Mercury go into Sag. So again, we kind of left keep our mouths shut to, hey, let's talk about everything. Mental ability and communication styles. Then on November 4th, Mars goes into Sag, okay, and immediately opposes Uranus, because Uranus is, I don't even think it's at 1 degree. I think it's in minutes of Gemini down here. And then on November 6th, Venus goes into Scorpio. So that's a real changer. I mean, you can imagine Venus in Libra has a lot different energy than Venus in Scorpio. And remember, this is going to set off what I call the Jimmy Kimmel Yod, but we'll talk about that next week. But here she comes. And then Uranus, who's been going retrograde, goes back into Taurus on November 7th. So as you can see, next week might be a 40-minute one. Who knows with all those changes? We'll see. And I also wanted to give you a heads up on something too. Mercury is going to go retrograde on November 9th until November 29th. And the 29th is actually that Friday night, Saturday morning of after Thanksgiving. So just be aware, if you're planning to fly anywhere, I would get your tickets now or ASAP before Mercury actually goes retrograde on the 9th. I would just get them as soon as you can. And for flying back, I was looking at that, and Mercury, goes direct, like I said, a late Friday night of the 28th into the 29th, Saturday morning. So Saturday, for flying back, Saturday morning looks super busy, but really good energy aspects. Sunday after Thanksgiving, that's when Venus goes into Sag, so she's going to be right up here. Can you believe it? She's moving really fast. We'll talk about that too. So that, and Sag rules travel, especially international travel and flying by air and things like that, whereas like Gemini is more like driving your car. This is more like taking a flight. So that's pretty good energy. Monday morning didn't look that great, but Monday evening looked very calm. So anyway, I just wanted to give you some heads up on that so you can get your Thanksgiving plans figured out and all that good stuff. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for being here again, and thank you for the likes and subscribes. I can't tell you how much. Oh, oops. And I wanted to also mention a couple of people actually have asked about my wheel. And just to let you know, I probably got this wheel 35 years ago. And it came with these cool things. I don't know if you probably can't see it, but there's these little holes. And so it came with all these little pieces so that you could put your natal chart on the inside and then do all the planets, how they're moving. Like there's Uranus, on the outside, but I figured you can't see those. That's why I went to stickies. And I was trying to think, should I pull the metal things off? And I decided, no, I'm just going to do stickies. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that because, this is one of those things where you go, well, I bought this and now I figured out how to use it. It only took me 35 years. Same with these pink gloves. I got these for a prom. I'm probably 40 years ago. Over that, I got my master's degree in landscape architecture. So we would have a prom every year, my program, and it was called the Flop. And if you don't, Frederick Law Olmsted is the father of landscape architecture. And so we called it the Flop, the Frederick Law Olmsted prom. And one year the theme was pink. In case you don't know, pink is our color, like pink flamingos. So anyway, enough of that extraneous information, but I hope to see y'all next week, and thank you so much for being here. Bye for now, and just remember, from here to there, from there to here, funny things are everywhere. Bye!